I want to say to everybody, it's so hard putting everything together. And I know people get frustrated because you haven't made a decision yet on some things. But I just say this, there's sponsors involved, there's so many relationships involved, and you're trying to go through all that and work it all out. Honestly, I think that's part of Erik's world. It doesn't go easy sometimes, and you're working. He knows. I keep him updated. We do. He knows we're working as hard as we can. So hopefully it'll be one of those things we get put in place here pretty quick.
All right, guys, so that was the sound. That's Coach Gibbs just yesterday after winning the race with Denny Hamlin. The conversation, just to relive it for everybody, the situation, as we all understand it, Christopher Bell, their Xfinity Series driver, is a remarkable talent. Everything we've heard is that he's going to have a seat at the Cup level next year. Everyone assumes that's with Joe Gibbs Racing, which is a camp full of great drivers. The dominoes continue to fall, and at this point, I think everyone's pointing to Erik Jones as being the driver out. I'm not sure that audio led one way or the other. How did you read into it?
So I just think they don't know. I really think that at the point they're trying to work it all out. And you heard Coach talk about sponsorship and how is sponsorship going to play into this, and that is a huge part. You have to have, and that's nothing new to this sport. Yeah. You have to have sponsorship to make all this work, and what sponsors are lined up with what drivers and who wants, you know what I mean, and where's everybody going to fit? And there's only 4 seats there. And so, but 4 seats is not enough for Toyota, right?
I think that's the conversation.
Yeah, so 4 seats isn't enough for Toyota. So where are the other seats for the Toyota drivers? Because, you know, Matty D this weekend, you know, hey, this is my seat. Nobody can do better than me. He came back today and kind of, you know, said that was a joke. But no, it wasn't. No. That wasn't a joke. No. Like, and it shouldn't have been a joke. Yeah, exactly. Believe in yourself. It's okay what you said. He's a talent. You know, you can't give up on Erik Jones.
No.
There's too much talent there, right? So you got to figure that out. And I think Coach and that whole group, including Toyota, they're smart enough to know, like, when you have talent, you can't give it up, because crew chiefs matter, cars matter, engines matter, aerodynamics matter. Driver matters too. You got to have it all if you're going to compete at this level.
Yeah. Joe Gibbs has been in this type of situation his entire life, from being a coach in the NFL. Probably having to either release or trade people that he knew might be a help, but someone else coming in, or for financial situations. And in this case, a lot of it is. He just pointed out sponsorships make a difference as to what you're doing. I think it's, you know, in a perfect world, and nobody ever said that when you become a driver in NASCAR, especially in Cup, that everything was going to be fair or perfect. Matter of fact, most of the time it's very imperfect. You make the most of what you can. But I think that it would be very unfair for Erik Jones, in my mind, not to stay in this seat at least another year or two. And I'll be quite honest in saying this much, too, that Christopher Bell is outstanding. He's going to be a really, really good driver. But if you give me the choice and say sponsorships are there to do whatever you want to do, Erik Jones deserves to be in that car more, because it's going to take Christopher Bell a little bit of time to learn how to run up front and then learn how to win at the Cup level, because there's so much talent that is out there. Erik Jones is ready to win at any moment right now. And he could win. He might lose his ride, find out that he's not going to be in that 20 car and go win 3 races. That could easily happen in this situation. So I just feel like I feel strongly that Erik Jones is a tremendous talent that is very capable of winning races and challenge for championships in the Cup Series.
I mean, the struggle I have with the situation is with the limitation of Cup drivers on the Xfinity level. I have yet to see Erik Jones and Christopher Bell duel head-to-head in like equipment. And what I mean by that is Christopher Bell is tremendous. I'm not going to take anything away from him. And he is going to be tremendous, which is my point. Why are we in such a hurry? He wins, he's going to win, and he is great. But I've seen a lot of great guys, say William Byron, say Daniel Suarez. Those are 2 champions on Saturday. They are learning on Sunday. I'm not saying they're not going to be great, right? But they're cutting their teeth. I agree with you that Christopher Bell has some teeth cutting to do when he moves up. Erik Jones is already there. Do we have to relive the Joey Logano scenario? I feel like we're having that conversation all over again. So if it was me and the sponsors were there, I would find a way to get Christopher Bell in, I hate to say this to Matty D, but I'd put him in the 95 and let him learn how to race on Sundays. But it's easy to say here. You know, it's a great problem to have. Guess what? You have 4 seats and 5 great drivers. Yeah. And poor Matty D over here, who is running the bestest cars ever run.
And so who at what team that isn't Toyota is sitting there doing, you know, because you got Erik Jones sitting there that we all agree we all agree can win races. We got Christopher Bell that we all agree may need some time. I'm a little bit on not comparing Christopher to Erik because I wouldn't know how.
How do you do it?
But I mean, I've watched him race a lot, not just in Cup. I've watched him race late models. I've watched him race a lot of stuff. I think they're both exceptionally capable. The only thing about Christopher Bell is I believe he is more mature than some of the rookies that have come in recently. He has a lot of racing experience, and he's older than some of the other guys that have come in. So I think he's more ready than some other rookies that we've seen come in. But if there are not enough seats at the table, right? Erik Jones is going to be Cup racing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Somewhere.
Christopher Bell is going to be Cup racing.
Yes, yes.
So who is nervous, right?
Yeah.
And on top of that, if everything works out, like, we need a great rookie battle. So not only are we talking about Erik Jones or Christopher Bell, we're also talking about Tyler Reddick. We're talking about Christopher Bell, right? We get the big three, right? We're talking about the big three in Xfinity. Like, if all three of those guys can move together, that would be a great amount of energy that's put into the Cup Series. So you're talking about the opportunity for three people to come into not just Christopher Bell, and that can change a lot of things.
I will have to say that watching that, though, I think we all had to notice that Denny Hamlin saying, I'm glad that I've signed my contract and I won the Daytona 500 and two other races, and I'm not in this conversation whatsoever.
He didn't want to be up on that when Coach was talking about it. He was like, where can I go hide? I don't want to.
It's a terrible, it's uncomfortable. We've been there where you feel like you're pretty secure and some other people aren't. You want to be secure for sure, but you also know what it feels like. Sure. It's a horrible.
To even be in that conversation.
Listen, all I know is that I can give the list of Kurt Busch. Every time he gets in somewhere, he runs good, he's won. There's a list of drivers who have not. Those drivers perhaps should be way more concerned than Erik Jones, because if he comes available, guess what? Keep your phone charged, Erik, because I'm confident people are going to be calling. So, hey, great problem if you're a TRD, I guess. If you're going to have a problem, the best thing to do is figure out where to put all of the talent.
Hey, Motorsports fans, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit subscribe before you go for all the latest news and highlights across motorsports.